Subscribe to our channel. Right now, hit that like button and turn on the notification bell. You don't want to miss a single twist of fate. Prepare for the unexpected, because this isn't a romantic comedy. This is the story of how I ruined my ex-husband David's perfect wedding by arriving on a private jet with our twins and simply revealing the truth. Part 1. The envelope that sealed fate. The envelope was cream-colored, expensive, the kind my ex-husband David Sterling used to say we couldn't afford. But this wasn't a bill, a foreclosure notice, or another reminder of my bankruptcy. It was a wedding invitation. David was marrying Serena, the woman he left me for 4 years ago, and he wanted me there. He wanted me to watch, to witness, to see how he was finally happy. The note inside read, "No hard feelings. No hard feelings for the adultery, for the divorce, for taking absolutely everything and leaving me with pennies a month and a shattered life." I stared at that invitation for hours in my tiny apartment in Queens, New York, while my twins were at school and my coffee turned cold. And then I saw it. The date, June 15th, our anniversary. He chose the day of our anniversary to marry another woman. That was the moment I made the decision. I would go to this wedding, but not the way he expected. Not as the poor, broken ex-wife he thought I was. I would show him exactly what he threw away. And I had 18 months of secrets, very well-kept secrets, to help me do it. My name is Natalie, and this is the story of how I arrived at my ex-husband's wedding on a Billionaire'S private jet with our twins, and how I destroyed his perfect day by simply telling the truth. Stay with me, because what followed was something he never saw coming. A cruel joke. The envelope sat on my countertop like a living thing, mocking me. The apartment was quiet, too quiet. Van and Maya were at school. I picked it up, threw it down, picked it up again, a neurotic cycle. My phone was nearby. I could have called Olivia, my sister. I could have torn it to pieces, thrown it in the trash, pretended it never came. Instead, I opened my laptop. The email from Alexander was still there, and I still hadn't replied. I looked at the invitation again. David Michael Sterling and Serena Ivy Morris request the honor of your presence at their marriage ceremony. My hands shook. The thick cardstock trembled. Inside was a handwritten note. His handwriting. The same handwriting that used to leave me love notes. The same handwriting that signed the divorce papers 4 years ago. "Nat, I know this might be awkward, but I hope you come. The kids need to see that their parents are moving on. Both happy. No hard feelings. Best, David." No hard feelings. I read it 3 times. Each time, words made less sense. No hard feelings for the cheating, for the prenup loopholes, for leaving me to scrape by while he kept the house in the suburbs and the portfolio. I checked the date again. I had to be sure. June 15th. My breath hitched. It was the day we got married 12 years ago. The day I wore my grandmother's veil and promised to love him forever. The memory hit me. 4 years ago, almost exactly. David came home from work early. I was in the kitchen. The twins were 4 years old, playing with blocks, building towers and knocking them down, laughing. I was making dinner, pot roast, his favorite. He stopped in the doorway, loosened his tie, and looked at me with eyes that held nothing. "We need to talk," he said. The words that change everything. "I want a divorce." No explanation, no warning, no chance to fix what was broken. I remembered dropping the wooden spoon. Red sauce splattered on the floor, on my shirt. "What? Why, David, what are you talking about?" I met someone who understands me, someone who gets my ambition, someone who isn't this. He made a vague gesture toward me, toward the kitchen, toward the life we had. Someone younger, more beautiful. Someone not exhausted by raising small children. Who? I whispered. Serena. My friend, the woman who was in my bridal party, the woman who came to our vow renewal 3 years ago. Natalie shook her head, pushing the memory away, but they kept coming. The divorce proceedings. David's lawyer was a shark in a suit. My lawyer was fresh out of law school, cheap, the only one I could afford. David kept everything: the house, the savings, the retirement accounts. His lawyer argued that Natalie had no career, no income, no assets in her name. She was a full-time mother. That was her choice. She got minimal alimony and weekends with the twins. Nothing more. The judge barely looked at her when he banged the gavel. Natalie opened her eyes. She was still in her kitchen in Queens, still holding her cold coffee. 4 years of struggle. 2 jobs that barely covered rent. Visits to the food bank that she hid from the kids. Birthdays she couldn't afford. 4 years of calls from David's mother, Grace Sterling, saying things like, "If you had taken better care of yourself, maybe he wouldn't have strayed." 4 years of becoming invisible. She picked up her phone, opened photos, scrolled back. There was her wedding day. She was 27. White dress, flowers in her hair, smiling so wide it must have hurt. She didn't recognize that woman. That woman had dreams. That woman believed in happy endings. That woman was an idiot. Natalie put the phone down, looked at the invitation again. No hard feelings. Something hot and sharp coiled in her chest. Her laptop pinged. Another email from Alexander. She opened it. "Nat, I know you need space. I understand. But I'm here when you're ready. Always. Alexander." Kind, patient Alexander. The man she met 18 months ago when she spilled coffee on his laptop at a cafe in Soho. The man who laughed instead of getting angry. The man she didn't know was a tech mogul billionaire until their 5th date when someone asked for his autograph. Alexander, who accepted that she needed to keep their relationship a secret, that her ex-husband couldn't know, that the twins couldn't meet him yet. Alexander, who never complained, never pushed, just waited. The doorbell rang. Natalie jumped, spilling the cold coffee on the counter. She wasn't expecting anyone. She looked through the peephole. A man in a suit stood there, professional, serious, holding a package marked confidential. Her heart beat faster. She opened the door. "Natalie Vance?" "Yes." "Sign here, please." She signed. He handed her the package and left without a word. Natalie closed the door, locked it. She looked at the package. Heavy. Official looking. No return address. She opened it slowly. Inside were documents, plane tickets, and a handwritten note. "You don't need to hide us anymore. Let me be there. Let them see you the way I see you. You deserve to walk into that room like you own the world, because to me, you do. Always, Alex." Her vision blurred. Under the note were legal papers. She leafed through them. Her hands trembled. Financial reports, bank statements, asset transfers, all in David's name. Accounts she didn't know about. Money hidden during the divorce. Real estate in his mother's name. Business deals structured to hide income. Proof. Clear, irrefutable proof that he had lied under oath. And at the end, a short typed note. "Ms. Vance, I should have spoken up 4 years ago. I was a coward. I have documented everything. I'm sorry it took me so long. This is enough to reopen your case. Mark." Natalie fell to the kitchen floor with a thud. Papers scattered around her. Alexander had been investigating. How long? Since they met. He had been building a case in silence, without telling her. Her phone buzzed. A text from Olivia. "You okay? Haven't heard from you in days. Want to get food?" Natalie looked at the message. The invitation on the counter. The proof scattered on the floor. She typed, "Can you come over? I need you right now." 3 dots appeared immediately. "On my way. 15 minutes." Natalie stood up, gathered the papers, put them back in the packet. She brewed fresh coffee. Strong. The way Olivia liked it. Then she picked up the invitation one more time. No hard feelings. For the first time in 4 years, Natalie Vance smiled. It was not a happy smile. Part 2. Strategy and the Naked Truth. Olivia burst through the door 12 minutes later. "What happened? Are the kids okay?" She stopped, saw Natalie's face. "What did he do this time?" Natalie handed her the invitation without a word. Olivia read it once, twice. Her face shifted from concern to confusion, then to rage. "He invited you to his wedding? On your anniversary?" "Right there, June 15th. Olivia held back a scream, took a deep breath. "Okay. And the note? No hard feelings? Is he actually insane?" "I think he truly believes it. Of course he does. David Sterling is a man who never does anything wrong." Olivia threw the invitation onto the counter. "Please tell me you aren't going." I don't know, Liv. Actually, no." Olivia studied her face. Her sister could always read her. "There's something else. What is it?" Natalie handed her the package. Olivia read it slowly at first, then faster. Her eyes widened with every page. Oh my God, he hid all of this during the divorce? Looks like it. And Alexander found this? Alexander, wait, not my Alexander. No, my Alexander. This is complicated. It's not complicated to me anymore. Natalie poured coffee for both of them. They sat at the small kitchen table, the one that wobbled because one leg was shorter than the others. "I met him 18 months ago in that coffee shop. I spilled coffee on his laptop. You know that part." Olivia laughed. "We started talking. He was kind, funny, present in a way David never was." Natalie wrapped her hands around her mug. "We started dating. Nothing serious at first. Just coffee, then dinner. Then I fell in love with him, and he fell in love with me. But I couldn't tell anyone. Not you, not the kids, no one. Because if David knew I was dating someone, especially someone with money, he would go back to court. He would try to reduce the alimony, claim I didn't need it anymore." Olivia's jaw tightened. Sounds exactly like something he would do. "So we kept it a secret. Total secret. No social media. No public appearances. Just us in private." And Alexander agreed. He said he understood I needed to protect the twins, that he could wait. Natalie's voice trembled slightly. "He's been waiting 18 months, Liv, and I keep pulling away. I keep pushing him back because I'm terrified." "Terrified of what?" "That he'll leave me. That he'll realize I'm not worth the trouble. That he'll be like David." She shook her head. "I know it's unfair to Alexander. He's never given me a reason to doubt him. But I can't help it." Olivia reached across the table and took Natalie's hand. "That's not the problem. You know that, right?" "Do I?" "David made you believe you were the problem. He spent years breaking you down, making you feel small, making you believe you were lucky he stayed as long as he did. But it was all a lie, Nat. All of it." Natalie pulled her hand away, stood up, walked to the window. Outside, the world looked normal. People walking dogs, kids on bikes. He said I wasn't ambitious enough, that I let myself go, that I was boring. He was cheating on you with your friend. His opinion doesn't count. But what if he was right? What if I did let myself go? What if I was boring? Natalie turned to look at her sister. I was so focused on the twins, on keeping a perfect home, on being the perfect wife. Maybe I forgot to be interesting. Maybe I forgot to be me. Stop it. Stop what? Defending him, making excuses, acting like you deserved what he did to you. I'm not. Yes, you are. You're doing it right now. Olivia stood up, walked over to her. Listen to me. David Sterling is a liar, a cheater, and a fraud. Literally. Look at the proof right there on the table. He stole from you. He hid assets. He committed a crime, and you're standing here asking yourself if you were pretty enough for him? Natalie's eyes burned. She blinked hard. I look at that woman in our wedding photos and I don't know her anymore. I don't know where she went. She's still here. She's just been stepped on for so long she forgot how to stand up. Then the tears came. Hot, fast, furious. Olivia hugged her. Natalie sobbed into her sister's shoulder. 4 years of suppressed pain pouring out. I'm so tired, Liv. I'm so tired of fighting, of pretending I'm okay, acting like I'm fine when I'm drowning. I know. You work 2 jobs and still can't afford new shoes for the kids. You can't take them on vacation. You can't give them anything. You give them love. That's more than David ever gave them. That's enough. They stood there in the tiny kitchen until Natalie's tears slowed. Finally, she pulled back, wiped her face, laughed weakly. I got snot on your shirt. I have 3 kids. I've had worse things on my shirts. They sat back down. Olivia refilled their mugs. So, what are you going to do? Olivia asked. With the invitation? With Alexander? With all of this? I don't know. I have 2 options. I can take this proof to court, drag David through hell, get what I'm actually owed. Natalie paused. Or I can show up at this wedding and let him see what he threw in the trash. Let him see that I am not broken. Those aren't mutually exclusive. You can do both. I can. Why not? Take the evidence to your lawyer, file the papers, and while that's being processed, show up at his wedding on the arm of a billionaire. Show him exactly what he lost. It feels vengeful. Good. Be vengeful. He deserves it. He deserves much worse than revenge. Natalie laughed. A real laugh this time. It felt strange. Rusty. Alexander wants to be there. He sent me plane tickets for all of us. Wait. Plane tickets? Plural? Private jet. His jet. He wants to fly us there. Me, the kids, and you too, probably, if you want to go. Olivia's eyes went wide. Your boyfriend has a private jet? He's not my boyfriend. Natalie. Okay, fine. My boyfriend has a private jet. And you were worried you weren't interesting enough? Girl, you are dating a man with a private jet. You won the interesting lottery. Despite everything, Natalie smiled. He wants to meet the twins. Good. He says we've been hiding long enough. He's right. What if they hate him? What if they love him? That might be worse. Olivia shook her head. You can't protect them from everything. You can't protect yourself from everything. Sometimes you have to take a risk. Natalie looked at the invitation again, then at the package of evidence, then at her sister. He invited me because he thinks I'm still broken. He wants Serena to see me struggling. He wants everyone to see that he won the breakup. Then prove him wrong. How? Show up looking like $1 million, with a man who actually values you, with your children who adore you. Show up like you own the damn world. Because you do, Natalie. You always did. You just forgot for a while. Natalie stood up, walked to the window again, looked at the street. Somewhere, David was planning his wedding, probably laughing about the invitation he sent. He had no idea what was coming for him. Okay, Natalie said in a quiet voice. Okay, what? Okay, I'll do it. I'll go. I'll take Alexander. I'll take the kids. And I will walk into that wedding like I own the place. Olivia grinned. That's my sister. But first, I need to do something. What? Natalie picked up her phone, opened her messages, found Alexander's name, typed carefully. I'm ready. Let's do this. Everything. No more hiding. She hit send before she could change her mind. The reply came in less than a minute. I was hoping you'd say that. When can I see you? Natalie smiled. A real smile this time. Tonight. Come over. Tonight. It's time you met my sister. And soon. My children. I'm all in. Girl, Olivia read over her shoulder. Tonight? You're going to introduce him tonight? No more waiting. No more hiding. If I'm going to do this, I'm doing it all the way. Good. It's about time. They cleaned the kitchen together, hid the evidence in a safe place, magnetized the invitation to the fridge. A reminder. A challenge. As Olivia was leaving, she turned back. Natalie? Yeah. I'm proud of you. You know that, right? For what? For surviving. For protecting yourself. For remembering who you are. Olivia left. The door closed behind her. Natalie stood in her quiet apartment. Alone again. But this time, the silence felt different. Not empty. Not suffocating. Purposeful, Mom. The invitation was still on the fridge. June 15th. 2 months away. 2 months to prepare. To plan. To transform. 2 months to let David think he had won. And then, she would show him just how wrong he was. I wasn't the problem, she whispered to the empty room. I know that now. But back then, I believed every word he said. Part 3. The preparation. The 18-month secret revealed. The next 2 months were a whirlwind. Natalie transformed from the hiding ex-wife into a woman with a mission. Alexander arrived at exactly 7 p.m., always punctual. He saw the wobbly table, the worn sofa, the small collection of books. He saw Natalie, dressed in jeans and a thrift store t-shirt, and looked at her like she was royalty. Hi, he said. His voice was calm and deep. Hi, she replied. Feeling awkwardly nervous, Olivia didn't waste time. She extended a hand to Alexander. I'm Olivia, the sister. I won't like you if you aren't perfect. Alexander smiled, a genuine smile that crinkled his eyes. Understood. I'm Alexander. I'm not perfect, but I promise not to be an ass. That evening, Alexander and Natalie spoke not of their past, but of their future. He explained the evidence he had gathered with a private investigator. The lawyer he had retained for her, Marina Tate, the best high-profile litigator in New York, was waiting. Why did you do this, Alexander? Natalie asked, feeling overwhelmed. Because I love you. And because you deserve justice, and because seeing how this situation was destroying you while that man lived like a king. It was unbearable. I had the means to help you fight, so I fought. On April 16th, Natalie's lawyer filed the papers. Reopening the divorce case based on asset fraud was imminent. David and his new bride were in for a very bitter surprise weeks before their dream day. Reuniting with Uncle Alex, the next mission was introducing Alexander to the twins. Natalie didn't want to introduce him as dad or even boyfriend yet. He was just Uncle Alex, a friend who made Mommy laugh and traveled a lot. On the first weekend, Alexander and Natalie took Van and Maya to Central Park. It was a charming disaster. Van, the protector, immediately asked, "Are you rich?" Maya, the pragmatist, asked, "Do you have a dog?" Alexander laughed. He answered Van, "I'm a little lucky, yes, but that doesn't make me special." And to Maya, "I don't have a dog, but on my plane, there is a candy dispenser built into the seat." Natalie's jaw dropped. His jet had a candy dispenser, but it worked. Over the next few weeks, Alexander never tried to replace their father. He just listened to them, taught them how to tie knots, helped them with a school project about the Empire State Building. He gave them what they hadn't had in years, a present adult who wasn't stressed. A week before the wedding, Van asked, "Mom, can we go to Dad's wedding with Uncle Alex?" "Are you sure, honey? It will be a long day." "Yeah, Dad always says we should see him happy, and Uncle Alex is happy when you're happy." Natalie felt a lump in her throat. It was time. The final transformation. The Vance look. For the last few weeks, Natalie worked with a stylist Alexander provided. Her mission wasn't to dress up as someone else, but to reveal the woman David had tried to bury. She said goodbye to her messy hair, got a modern cut, got rid of the lifeless brown dye she used. Now she wore glossy, elegant highlights that framed a face that had lost the circles of worry. They didn't buy a new dress. They repurposed a vintage designer gown Natalie had bought before her marriage and forgotten in the back of a closet. It was silk, emerald green, giving her an air of calm power and quiet wealth. "It doesn't scream money," the stylist said. "It whispers Vance." June 14th, the night before the wedding. Natalie looked at her reflection. This wasn't the woman in the wedding photo. This woman had scars, yes, but also resolve. She had a lawyer defending her, a man who loved her, and the knowledge that revenge is a dish best served at the altar with an icy smile. Part 4. The epic arrival and the final dance. The hook, the private jet. The private jet was quiet. The twins were too busy with the gummy bear dispenser to notice the legal bomb that had just detonated in David's email inbox. But Natalie knew, and when the plane landed, the game truly began. The wedding was to be held at the Cloud Estate, a luxury manor in the Hamptons that David bragged about renting. On June 15th, Alexander's jet, a beautiful Challenger 350, touched down softly at the private airfield near the estate. The twins hopped out, more excited about the ride than the event. Natalie, in her emerald dress and designer sunglasses, looked like she was born for this moment. Alexander, impeccable in a bespoke blue suit, offered his arm. "Ready for your debut, Ms. Vance?" "I'm not Ms. Vance. I'm Natalie," she corrected, but she squeezed his hand. "Let's go." Then it was time for them to see what they had lost. The entrance and the punt. They arrived just as the ceremony ended. The plan: enter at the cocktail hour, not the church. David expected her to be there. What he didn't expect was how she would appear. The estate was impressive. Cocktail tables were full of David's old friends and business partners. Everyone turned when two black SUVs pulled silently up the driveway. Alexander stepped out first, then helped Natalie out. The air froze. David, who was giving a toast with Serena near the central fountain, stopped mid-sentence. His champagne glass froze halfway to his lips. Serena's smile vanished. Natalie looked at no one but her ex-husband. She didn't approach with hostility, just with crushing calm. Van and Maya ran ahead of them, looking for the dessert table. David cleared his throat, face red, and took a step forward. Serena yanked his arm. "Natalie," David said, voice too loud, too fake. "You're here. I knew you'd come. You look fantastic." "David, Serena, congratulations." Natalie's voice was low. Perfect. She didn't smile. "Who is your friend?" Serena asked, voice laced with venom as she scanned Alexander's suit. Alexander stepped forward, extended a hand. "Alexander Thorne. Pleasure to meet you. And I'm not her friend. I'm her fiancé." A whisper ran through the group of guests. David was speechless. Confrontation at the fountain. David recovered, forced a smile. "You didn't mention you were engaged, Nat. I didn't know you had moved on." "David, we divorced 4 years ago. I don't owe you explanations. Besides, I was busy getting my life in order and fighting for justice." David paled. The word justice was the key. "What do you mean, Natalie? Did you come to my wedding to cause trouble?" "No, I came because you invited me. You said no hard feelings, and I'm here to show you I have none. My life is great. My children are fine. My future is bright." Serena tensed. "She's trying to ruin this, David. Isn't it obvious? She's here for revenge." Natalie laughed. It was the sweetest laugh Alexander had ever heard. Revenge for what, Serena? Because you took a man who stole from me in the divorce? A man who cheated on me with my best friend? No. Revenge is cheap. This, however, is karma, and I'm just watching it happen. She pulled a single envelope from her small designer clutch, a duplicate of the legal notice her lawyer had served that same day. This is a wedding gift, she said, handing him the envelope. It's the reopening of our divorce case. Asset fraud, falsification of records. I hope the wedding was worth it, because your financial troubles have only just begun, darling. David took the envelope, opened it with shaking hands. His eyes scanned the text fast. His face went ash white. This is a lie. This is a trap. You have no proof. Alexander has everything. He took care of it all. Your lawyer, Mr. Mitchell, documented everything. Right, David? He was a coward and handed it to me. You can't hide anymore. The silence was deathly. All the guests, friends, couples, business partners, stared at David. Natalie looked at the fountain, then at her children playing carelessly near the dessert table. She turned to Alexander. Honey, could you grab the kids? It's time to go. Alexander walked away without a word. Natalie stepped closer to David. I wished you a happy life, David, but I didn't think you'd be stupid enough to choose our anniversary to marry the woman you risked everything for. June 15th was always mine, and now it will be yours too. The day karma finally came to your life. David couldn't speak. He was crushed, not by the loss of Natalie, but by the fear of losing everything he loved, his money. The kids returned. Maya grabbed Natalie's hand. Mommy, are we leaving already? I want to go back to the candy dispenser. Natalie smiled at her daughter, turned to the newlyweds. Thanks for the invite. It was unforgettable. She walked away on Alexander's arm with the twins. She didn't look back. Her revenge wasn't the chaos she left behind. It was the peace with which she left. Part 5. Getting to know Alexander. Saturday came too fast. Natalie changed clothes 4 times. Nothing felt right. Finally, she settled on jeans and a soft blue shirt. Simple. Comfortable. Alexander picked them up at 10 a.m. He drove a normal car. Not flashy. Just a regular SUV. The twins climbed into the back seat, suspicious, defensive. Hi, Alexander said. Nervous. I'm Alexander. Very nice to meet you both. Silence. Then Maya asked, How much money do you have? Maya? Natalie turned around. You can't ask people that. Why not? I want to know. Alexander laughed. A real laugh. Not awkward, just amused. That's a fair question. I have more money than I need, and less time than I want. That's not an answer, Van pointed out. You're right, it's not. The real answer is complicated, but the simple answer is enough to be comfortable. Enough to help people I care about. Not enough to solve all the world's problems, but enough to make a difference. Van pondered this. Are you trying to buy us? Because Dad's girlfriend does that. She buys us stuff, and thinks that makes us like her. No, I'm not trying to buy you. I'm trying to know you, and I hope you get to know me. If you don't like me, that's okay. But I hope you give me a chance. They went to the park. Not a fancy one, just a regular neighborhood park with swings and slides. Alexander pushed Maya on the swings, played basketball with Van, sat with Natalie on the bench, and didn't try to hold her hand in front of them. He gave them space, time, the opportunity to adapt. An hour later, Maya ran up. Alexander, can you push me higher? Natalie's chest tightened. Maya used his name, not Mom's friend. Alexander. At lunch, they ate pizza, the kids' favorite place. Nothing special. But they laughed, talked, acted normal. Van told Alexander about his math class, about how he loved patterns and numbers. Maya told him about her art project, about a dragon she was drawing that breathed fire in different colors, depending on its mood. Alexander listened. really listened, asked questions, remembered details. When they got back to the apartment, the twins ran inside to play. Alexander and Natalie stood by his car. "They're incredible," he said. "They like you. I adore them. What if they get attached? What if you—" He kissed her, interrupting her spiral. "I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. I'm all in. Stop waiting for me to leave." "Okay, I'm trying. Try harder." He laughed, kissed her back. "Okay, I'll try harder." That night, after Alexander left, Maya climbed into Natalie's bed. "Mommy?" "Yes, sweetie. I like Alexander. He's kind." "I'm glad. He'll be around more often." "That would be good," Maya thought. "Yeah, I think so. He doesn't try to be daddy. He's just Alexander. And that's okay." Natalie hugged her daughter tight. "I love you, Maya." "I love you too, Mommy." Van came to her the next morning while Maya was watching TV. "Mom, can I ask you something?" "Always." "Are you going to marry Alexander?" "I don't know. We haven't talked about that." "Why?" "Because if you do, does that mean we have to call him Dad?" "No, honey. Never. You already have a father. Alexander would just be Alexander, an adult who cares about you, but not your father. Never your father unless you want that yourself." Van nodded, relieved. "Okay, because Dad is kind of mean sometimes, but he's still Dad. I don't want a new one." "You don't need a new one. But Alexander is okay. He actually listened when I talked about math. Dad always tunes out. I noticed. So, yeah, he can stay." Natalie hugged him, her serious, thoughtful boy. "I love you, Van." "Love you too." David's call and the warning. 2 weeks later, David called. Natalie looked at his name on the phone. She hadn't spoken to him in 6 weeks. He never called unless something was wrong. She answered. "Hello, David." "Natalie. Hi, sorry to bother you." His voice was smooth, confident, fake. "What do you need, David?" "Just wanted to check in about the wedding. Make sure you're still planning to come." "Serena asked if I was coming." "Great. That's great. And I know money is tight. The invitation says black tie. But if you need to wear something simpler, that's totally fine. No one will judge." Her blood boiled slowly and steadily. "I will be dressed appropriately." "Of course, I wasn't suggesting, I just wanted to say." "I know what you wanted to say, David." Silence on his end. "Well then, see you on the 15th. "See you then." She hung up, picked up her phone, and texted Olivia. "He just called to say it's okay if I can't afford a nice dress." Olivia's reply. "Oh, he's going to regret that." Then she texted Alexander. "Are you sure about this? About everything?" His reply came immediately. "Never been more sure of anything. Even the jet?" "Especially the jet." She smiled, put the phone down, looked at the calendar, counted the days. 4 weeks to the wedding. 4 weeks until David Sterling learned the biggest lesson of his life. She did what she always did when she felt overwhelmed. Reorganized the kitchen drawers at midnight. Forks, knives, spoons. Order in the chaos. Part 6. The fraud case, the fortune, and David's mother Van's fight. 2 weeks before the wedding, everything changed. Natalie was at work, her morning shift doing data entry from home. The phone rang. School. Her heart stopped. School never called unless something was wrong. "Ms. Vance? This is Principal Morris. I'm calling about Van." "Is he hurt?" No, nothing like that. But we had an incident at lunch today. Could you come in?" She arrived in 20 minutes. Van was sitting in the principal's office. He had a bloody lip and scuffed knuckles. Another boy was sitting opposite him, crying. "What happened?" Natalie asked. Principal Morris sighed. "There was a fight. Van hit Xavier. Wait, name correction. Boris in source. Let's use Blake. Van hit Blake. Van doesn't hit people. I know. That's why I called you instead of suspending him immediately. But he hit Blake hard. Blake might have a broken nose." Natalie looked at her son. Her quiet, gentle son who organized his toys by color. "Why?" she asked directly. Van looked at the floor. "Did he say something?" "What did he say?" "He said you're a gold digger. That you're dating a rich guy for his money. that everyone knows you're broke and desperate, and that you probably—" He stopped. I can't say the rest. It's bad words. The other boy's mother burst into tears. "Blake, why would you say that?" Blake sniffled. "My dad said it last night. He said David Sterling's ex-wife is dating a billionaire now, and that everyone knows she's only after his money. He said it at dinner. I just repeated it." The room went quiet. Natalie's vision focused. "Who is your father?" "Mark Rico." "Wait, let's keep it consistent. Mark Mitchell, the whistleblower partner? Or a different associate?" "Let's say a different associate." "Marcus Reed. He works with Mr. Sterling." Of course, David told everyone. She knelt in front of Van, took his face in her hands. "You were defending me. He was lying about you. I know. But we don't hit people, even when they lie." "But—" "No. I know you were angry. I know you wanted to protect me. But violence isn't the answer." Tears filled Van's eyes. "I'm sorry. I know you're sorry." She hugged him, held him tight. "But you have to apologize to Blake and accept the punishment Principal Morris decides." They settled it. Van apologized. Blake apologized. Both boys got detention. In the car, Van was quiet. "How did Dad find out?" he asked finally. "About Alexander?" "I don't know. I thought we were careful." "Are you mad at yourself?" "No, never. At the situation, very." When they got home, Maya was already there. Olivia had picked her up. "What happened?" Olivia asked. "Why does Van look like he went 12 rounds with a boxer?" "Defending my honor with his fists." Olivia looked at Van. "My man. Liv, don't encourage him." "I'm not encouraging violence. I'm praising the sentiment." That night, after the twins were in bed, Natalie called Alexander. "David knows about us." "How?" "I don't know. But he's telling people I'm a gold digger, that I'm using you for money." Alexander was silent for a moment. "Does that bother you? What he says?" "Yes. No, I don't know. It bothers me that Van got into a fight because of it, that people are talking about us, about me." "Natalie, people will talk no matter what happens. If you're with me, they'll say you're chasing money. If you're alone, they'll say you're bitter and pathetic. If you date someone poor, they'll say you have no ambition. You can't win. So stop playing their game. It's not that simple. It is exactly that simple. The only opinions that matter are yours, your kids, and maybe your sisters. Everyone else can think what they want." "That's not enough for me." "Then what would be enough?" she thought. Really thought. "I want him to see not just that I'm with you, but that I'm okay. That I survived. That I am stronger without him." "Then that is what we will show him." Grace Sterling's call and the secret folder. The next day, David called. She let it go to voicemail. "Natalie, we need to talk. I heard you're seeing someone. I think that's great. Really, I'm happy for you. But I need to know if it's serious, because if so, we need to discuss how this affects the kids, the custody agreement, and the alimony. Call me." She deleted it. Called her lawyer instead. "He's fishing," Marina said. "He wants to know if he can reduce payments now that you're dating someone with money. He can't. Not unless you're married. Dating changes nothing legally. But he'll try. Men like David always try. What do I do? Ignore him. Don't engage. Let him stew. And when we go to court with our evidence, we bury him." Natalie hung up. Felt a little better. Maya came home from school that day with a drawing. A family portrait. Her, Van, Maya, and a tall man with kind eyes. "Who is this?" Natalie asked, though she knew. "Alexander. He's part of our family now, right?" "Do you want him to be?" "Yes, he's nice, and he makes you laugh. You don't laugh when Dad is around." Natalie's heart ached. Her children deserved better. That night, Alexander came over. Brought pizza. Played video games with Van. Looked at Maya's portfolio. Every dragon and drawing. "You are really talented," he told her seriously. "You think so?" "I know so. Have you ever thought about taking art classes? Real ones, with a teacher?" "Mommy says they're too expensive." Alexander looked at Natalie. "What if I knew someone who teaches art to kids and might want to take on a student?" Alexander, you don't have to. I'm not doing it because I have to. I'm doing it because Maya is talented and deserves to develop that talent. Maya's eyes went wide. Really? You'd do that? If your mom is okay with it. Natalie's throat tightened. I'm okay with it. Maya hugged Alexander's neck. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Over her head, Alexander met Natalie's eyes. This is real, his look said. Stop waiting for it to break. Later, after the kids were asleep, they sat on the couch, not touching, just close. You're good to them, Natalie said. It's easy to be good to them. Van got into a fight because someone said I was using you. I heard. Are you upset? Why should I be upset? He defended someone he loves. That is admirable. He hit another kid and got punished. He learned. That's what matters. Alexander turned to look at her. Natalie, I need to tell you something. Her stomach clenched. What? I am all in. With you. With the kids. With everything. I know you're waiting for me to run, but I won't. So you have to decide. Are you all in too? Or are we going to keep doing this dance where you push me away every time we get close? I'm scared. I know. What if it doesn't work? What if it does? They sat there in her small apartment with her worn furniture and leaky sink, and Alexander looked around like it was a palace. I love this place, he said. It's tiny and falling apart, but it's the place where you built a life, where you raised the kids alone, where you survived. It's incredible. She kissed him. Slow, deep, full of fear and hope and possibility. I'm all in, she whispered against his lips. I'm terrified, but I'm all in. It was all he needed to hear. The phone rang. David again. She ignored it. Alexander smiled. Good choice. He'll keep calling. Let him. You have nothing to say to him. 2 days later, Grace Sterling called. Natalie almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. Hello? Natalie, it's Grace, David's mother. We need to talk. I don't think we have anything to talk about. It's important. Please, I'm asking you. I'm not ordering. Please. Something in her voice made Natalie pause. Okay, where? The Italian place? On Main Street? Tomorrow noon? Please come. She hung up before Natalie could object. Natalie looked at the phone, called Olivia. David's mother wants to see me. The woman who spent 10 years making your life miserable? That Grace? Yes, why? I don't know, but I'll find out. I'm coming with you. Liv, you don't have to. I'm going. Non-negotiable. If she tries anything, I'll be there. End of discussion. So the next day, they went together. Grace was already there, sitting in a booth in the corner. She looked older than Natalie remembered. Tired. Sad. Thank you for coming, Grace said as they sat down. What do you want? Olivia asked directly. Grace looked at Natalie. Really looked at her. I owe you an apology. A huge apology. For everything. Natalie blinked. I was horrible to you. For years I pushed David towards Serena. I thought she was better. Richer family. Better connections. I thought I was helping my son. I was wrong. Very wrong. Why are you telling me this? Grace's hands shook as she reached for her water glass. Because David's business has been failing for 2 years. Serena's family money is the only thing keeping him afloat. The wedding is basically a business merger, and he's lying to them. About everything. Olivia leaned forward. How do you know this? Mark told me. David's business partner. He's been documenting everything. He feels guilty. Wants to fix it. Why now? Natalie asked. Grace looked her in the eye. Because I saw what my son did to you, and now I see him doing it to someone else. And I'm tired. So tired of protecting him from the consequences of his choices. She pulled a folder from her bag. This is everything. More than you already have. Bank statements, texts, emails, proof of every lie he told during your divorce. Natalie took the folder, hands shaking. Why are you giving me this? Because you deserve better. You deserved much more than what I helped put you through. I can't fix the past, but maybe I can help the future. They sat in that restaurant. The woman who made Natalie feel worthless was now handing her the keys to justice. I don't know what to say, Natalie admitted. Say you'll use it. Say you'll stop him. Say you won't let him do to Serena what he did to you. Natalie looked at Olivia. Her sister nodded. I'll use it. All of what? Grace nodded. Stood up to leave. Grace? Natalie called. Will you be at the wedding? I have to be. I'm his mother. But I won't be celebrating. She paused. I hope you walk into that hall like you own it. Because you always were that woman. You just forgot for a while. She left. Olivia and Natalie sat in silence. That was unexpected, Olivia said finally. I don't even know what that was. Redemption? Maybe, or guilt, or both. It's everything. It's more than enough. So what are you going to do now? Natalie closed the folder, looked at her sister. I'm going to go to this wedding. I'm going to walk in with Alexander and my children, and I'm going to show everyone who Natalie Vance is. Now. Hell yes. They high-fived over pasta. For the first time in 4 years, Natalie felt like she was winning. He thinks I'm still that woman. The one who apologized for existing. The one who made herself small so he could feel big. That woman is gone. Part 8. The Ultimatum and the Rage. David's final call, 10 days before the wedding. David called again. This time, Natalie answered. Hello, David. Natalie, good. I've been trying to reach you. I've been busy. Right. Listen, I wanted to talk to you about something, about that guy you're seeing. His name is Alexander. Sure, Alexander. The tech billionaire guy. That Alexander. Yes. Silence on his end. She could almost hear him recalculating. How long have you been dating? Why does it matter? Because if it's serious, we need to revisit the custody agreement, the alimony payments, everything. There it was. What she had been waiting for. We aren't revisiting anything, David. Natalie, be reasonable. If you're with someone who has that kind of money, you don't need my alimony anymore. Actually, legally, I still do. Dating changes nothing. We'd have to be married for that. More silence. Longer. Are you planning to marry him? That is none of your business. It is my business, and it affects my financial obligations. Her blood boiled. Slow. Steady. Your financial obligations, not your children, not their well-being, your money. That's what you care about. It's unfair. Have you tried to reduce payments since the day we divorced? You fought me for everything. Every cent. Every weekend. Because it was never about the kids. It was about control. About winning. I'm getting married in 10 days. We can't do this now. You called me. You brought this up. So yes, we are doing this now. He sighed. That condescending sigh she remembered so well. Look, I was trying to be civilized. Fine. See you at the wedding. Please try to dress appropriately. I know money is tight, but Serena worked very hard on this wedding. I would hate for you to embarrass her. She should have hung up, should have let it go. Instead, she said, I will be dressed appropriately. Don't worry about me. Great. And Natalie, I know it's hard for you to see me moving on, but I hope we can be adults about this. For the kids. For the kids. Exactly. They need to see both parents happy, moving on. You're absolutely right. Yes, they need to see that. So we're good? We're perfect. She hung up. Sat there in her quiet apartment, shaking with rage. Olivia arrived in 15 minutes. Natalie hadn't called her, but Olivia always knew. What did he say to you? Natalie told her every word, every condescending syllable. Olivia paced back and forth. I want to punch him. Really, really want to punch him. Get in line. How are you so calm? I'm not calm. I'm furious. But I can't show it. Not yet. Not until the wedding. Olivia stopped pacing. Looked at her sister. You've changed. You know that. 2 months ago, you would have apologized to him. Made an excuse. But now you fight back. He didn't give me another choice. No, you chose this. You chose to stop letting him control you. That's different. They sat down. Natalie made chamomile tea. I need to talk to you about something, Natalie said. About what? About what I was thinking. This wedding. The whole thing with Alexander and the jet and showing up like I own the place. Part of me asks, am I doing this for the wrong reasons? What do you mean? Am I doing this to be free or am I doing this for revenge? Olivia thought about it. Does it have to be one or the other? Can't it be both? I don't think so. I think you can want to be free of his control and also want him to see that you are okay, that you survived, that he didn't break you. But what about Serena? She's collateral damage in all this. She's marrying a liar, a cheat, and we're going to expose him at her wedding. It feels cruel. Then don't think of it as exposing him. Think of it as saving her. Because that's what you're doing. You're saving her from making the same mistake you made. She might not see it that way. Probably not. Not at first. But eventually, she'll understand. She'll be grateful. Natalie drank her tea. It was still too hot. You were so bright, Olivia said suddenly. When you started dating, you lit up every room. In the end, you were a ghost. I know. You know because you still sound like you believe you deserved it. Silence. Say it, Natalie. Say you didn't deserve what he did to you. I didn't deserve what he did to me. Louder. I didn't deserve what he did to me. Again. I didn't deserve what he did to me. Now she was screaming. Crying. Years of suppressed rage pouring out. Olivia held her. Let her scream. Let her cry. Let her break down. When Natalie finally stopped, her throat hurt. Her face was wet. But she felt lighter. Better? Olivia asked. A little. Good. Now get angry. Get very angry. Use it. Channel it. Walk into that wedding and show him exactly what he lost. The final night and Grace's call. That night, Natalie couldn't sleep. She got up. Midnight. The apartment was quiet. She started cleaning. Kitchen. Bathroom. Living room. Baseboards. Windows. When everything felt out of control. Clean something. Anything. She scrubbed until her arms ached. Until her back hurt. Until the sun started to rise. The apartment was spotless. She was exhausted. And she still had 10 days to go. Alexander called at 7 a.m. Did you sleep? How did you know I didn't? Because I know you. What happened? David called yesterday. Wants to renegotiate alimony because I'm seeing you. Of course he does. And he told me to dress appropriately because money is tight. And he doesn't want me to embarrass Serena. Alexander went silent. Give me his number. What? No. Why? Because I'm going to call him and tell him exactly what I think of him. Alexander? No. That's not... Natalie. He has no right to speak to you like that. He has no right to make you feel small. Not anymore. This is my fight. Mine. I need to handle it. You don't have to handle it alone. I know. But I need to handle it myself. That makes sense. He sighed. Yeah, makes sense. But I don't like it. You don't need to like it. You just need to trust me. I trust you completely. They talked for another hour. About nothing. About everything. Mark agreed to help. He would be at the wedding. He would approach Serena's father during the reception. He would show the evidence. It was risky. Could go wrong. But it was right. 8 days before the wedding, Grace called again. Natalie, sorry to bother you, but I need to tell you something. What? David knows something is wrong. He keeps asking me about money, about the business, about Mark. He suspects. Did you tell him anything? No, of course not. But he's paranoid right now, watching everything. Everyone. Be careful at the wedding. He'll be on guard. I'll be careful. Thanks for the warning, Grace. One more thing. Yes? I'm proud of you. For standing up. For defending yourself. For being stronger than I was. She hung up before Natalie could reply. Dresses, promises, and peace. 5 days before the wedding, Natalie got the dress. Olivia took her shopping to a store Natalie usually couldn't afford. We're doing this right, Olivia said. No objections. The dress was emerald green, a color David always said washed her out. She looked stunning. Oh, damn, Olivia said, when Natalie walked out of the fitting room. That's it. It's too expensive. It's perfect. And Alexander already paid for it. What, when? Last week. He called me. Said, take her shopping. said, "Buy her whatever she wants. His treat. I can't accept that." "Yes, you can. Stop fighting it. Let someone take care of you for once." Natalie looked in the mirror at the woman looking back at her. She looked confident, strong, beautiful. She looked like someone who belonged in this place. For the first time in 4 years, she recognized herself. "Okay, I'll take it." 2 days before the wedding, David sent a text message. "Thanks for being an adult about this. It means a lot. The kids are lucky to have you." As Natalie read it 3 times, then smiled. She replied, "See you Saturday." Short, simple, calm. He had no idea what was coming, and that was exactly how she wanted it. I spent so much time trying to be enough for him. I never realized I was always enough. He was the one who wasn't. Part 9, Day 0. The final test, courage. The night before the wedding, Natalie couldn't breathe. 2 a.m. She sat on the floor, back against the bathtub, chest tight. Panic attack. She recognized it now. Tried to breathe. In for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. Didn't work. Her phone was on the sink. She could call Olivia, could call Alexander. But this was something she had to handle. Her fear, her doubts, her panic. What if it's a mistake? What if showing up at David's wedding with Alexander makes everything worse? What if the twins get hurt in the crossfire? What if she's using Alexander? What if David is right and she's just a gold digger? What if she isn't strong enough? What if she fails? The thoughts spun faster and faster. She pressed her forehead to her knees, counted 1, 2, 3, 4. Her phone vibrated. She jumped. A message from Alexander. "I can't sleep either. Thinking of you. Of tomorrow. Of how proud I am of you." She stared at the screen. Tears blurred her vision. She typed with shaking hands, "I'm terrified." His reply came instantly. "I know, but you aren't alone. I'm here. Olivia is here. The kids are here. You are surrounded by people who love you. And if I'm not ready, you are ready. You've been ready for years. You just didn't know it." She wanted to believe him. Her phone rang. Alexander's name lit up the screen. She answered. "Hi," she whispered. "Hi." His voice was soft, warm. "I heard the panic in your text. Talk to me. I don't know if I can do this." "Yes, you can. But what if—" No buts. Just facts. Fact. You survived 4 years of hell. Fact. You raised 2 incredible kids practically alone. Fact. You rebuilt your life from nothing. Fact. You are the strongest person I know. I don't feel strong because you're human. Humans get scared. But strength isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward despite it. She froze, listening to his breathing on the other end of the line. "Tell me something," she said finally. "Anything. Why did you choose me?" "Really?" Not the coffee shop story. Not a superficial answer. He was silent. A long moment. "You want the truth?" "Always. Because the first time I saw you, you were exhausted, nervous, clearly overwhelmed. And when the waiter made a joke, you laughed anyway. A real laugh. Despite everything. And I thought, that's the person I want to know. A person who can find joy even when things are hard. A person who keeps going. A person who survives." She closed her eyes. More tears came. "I'm a disaster, Alexander. You're human. There's a difference. And if tomorrow is a disaster, then it's a disaster. But you'll survive it. Like you survived everything else. How do you have so much faith in me? Because I see you. Really see you. Not the version David tried to create. Not the version you think you should be. Just you. And you are magnificent." She laughed weakly. "That's a strong word. It's the right word." They talked until the sky began to lighten. Until her panic faded. Until her breathing normalized. "Thank you," she said finally. "For what?" "For not letting me fall alone. Always." Now try to sleep. Big day tomorrow. Big day tomorrow. She hung up, went back to bed, stared at the ceiling. Sleep didn't come, but the panic was gone. At 6 a.m., she got up, made coffee, sat at her kitchen table. The invitation was still on the fridge, mocking her. She took it down. Looked one last time. No hard feelings. She laughed. Laughed for real. David had no idea what feelings she had. None. Because he never bothered to ask. Flight to the Hamptons. Olivia arrived at 8 with coffee and pastries in an overnight bag. Okay, she said. We're doing this. Full glam. Hair, makeup, nails, everything. Is it too much? Nothing is too much for today. Today you show him what he lost. Today you walk in like a queen. I feel more like a jester. Then fake it till you believe it. When we're done, you'll believe it. They spent the morning transforming her. Hair styled. Makeup perfect. Nails painted deep red. When Olivia finished, Natalie looked in the mirror. She almost didn't recognize herself. She looked strong, confident, beautiful. Oh my God, Olivia breathed. You look incredible. Do I look like someone else? You look like yourself, like the you whose existence you forgot. The twins arrived from their sleepover at Olivia's kids'. They stopped in the doorway. Mommy, Maya said, you look like a princess. You're beautiful. Van nodded shyly. Thank you, my loves. Now go get dressed. We have a wedding to attend. They ran to their rooms. Olivia helped Natalie put on the emerald dress, zipped it up. Natalie turned, looked at herself. The woman in the mirror was unrecognizable and completely familiar at the same time. Ready? Olivia asked. No. But I'll do it anyway. That's my girl. Alexander arrived exactly at 1 p.m. in a suit that looked like it came off a magazine cover. He stopped when he saw Natalie, just stood and stared. What? She asked nervously. Is it too much? You are stunning, absolutely stunning. The twins came out. Maya in a pale blue dress. Van in a little suit. Alexander knelt down. You two look incredible. You're handsome too, Maya said. Thanks, Alexander, Van added. They got into the SUV, drove to the private airport. The twins had never been to an airport like this. Small. Exclusive. Where the rich kept their planes. Wow, Van breathed. A plane? A real plane! Maya squealed. Alexander's pilot met them. Polite. Professional. The jet was smaller than Natalie expected, but luxurious. Leather seats. Polished wood. The twins explored every inch, pressed every button, asked a million questions. Natalie sat by the window, watched the ground fall away as they took off. You okay? Alexander asked quietly. Ask me later. Fair enough. During the flight, Olivia made everyone laugh with stories, kept the atmosphere light. But Natalie's stomach was tied in knots. In 2 hours, she would walk into David's wedding. In 2 hours, everything would change. Mark texted Alexander, confirming he was in place, that he had the evidence ready, that he would approach Serena's father during the reception. Everything was set. No turning back. The jet landed. SUVs were waiting. Black. Sleek. Expensive. The twins were euphoric. This is the coolest thing ever, Maya said. Wait until Dad sees us, Van added. Natalie's heart squeezed. This wasn't about revenge. Not really. It was about truth, about justice, about protecting Serena from the same fate. I could hate her. I hated her for years. But she's just another woman he's using. The pattern won't end until someone breaks it. They drove to the venue. The Cloud Estate, rolling views, white tents, flowers everywhere. The kind of wedding David always said they couldn't afford. Well, here we go, Olivia said. Here we go. Natalie repeated. The SUVs stopped at the entrance. Other guests were arriving in normal cars. Everyone turned, stared. Doors opened. Alexander got out first, then helped Natalie out. She stood up, The emerald dress caught the daylight. Perfect hair, head high. Olivia followed. Then the twins. Maya waved at someone she recognized. Van stayed close to Natalie. Whispers, "Keep." Is that Natalie Vance? Who is that man with her? Is that Alexander Thorne? The Alexander Thorne? She just arrived on a private jet? Natalie walked forward step by step. Alexander's hand rested lightly on her back. Supporting her, the wedding planner ran up, nervous, panicked. "Excuse me, there seems to be some confusion. Are you on the guest list?" Natalie smiled. Cold, calm. Natalie Vance, +4. The planner checked the tablet. Checked again. David only included Natalie. No guest, no children, no seats at the assigned table. I'm not sure where. Alexander spoke for the first time. His voice was calm, but carried authority. "I'm sure we can figure something out." The planner's eyes went wide. She recognized him. Of course she did. Yes, of course. I'll handle it. Please." "This way." They followed her into the chaos. The reception area was impressive. White flowers everywhere. Crystal chandeliers hanging from the tent ceiling. Tables set with gold-rimmed china. Everything was perfect. Expensive. Exactly what David always wanted. Guests turned to watch them enter. Whispers got louder. Grace Sterling saw them from across the lawn. She paled, then smiled. Smiled for real. She walked over slowly, intentionally. "Natalie, you look beautiful." Natalie blinked. "Thank you, Grace." Grace looked at the twins. "Hi, Van, Maya. You both look wonderful." "Hi, Grandma," they said quietly. Then, Grace looked at Alexander, extended a hand. "You must be Alexander Thorne. I've heard a lot about you." Alexander shook her hand. "All good things, I hope." Grace's smile was sad. Better than he deserves to hear. She looked at Natalie again. "I'm glad you came." She walked away before Natalie could reply. Olivia leaned in. "Did David's mother just congratulate you?" "I think so." "The world has officially flipped." They found their seats. The planner scrambled, put them at a table in the back, off to the side. But everyone could still see them. Natalie sat down, breathed, looked around. Lydia, sitting a few tables away, met Natalie's eyes, nodded, smiled. Another ally. Another person who knew the truth. The ceremony was about to begin. Guests headed to their seats. David appeared, walking to the altar. In a tuxedo, tanned, perfectly styled hair. He looked confident, happy, like a man who had everything. He looked around, saw them. His face cycled through several emotions in rapid succession. Shock, confusion, anger, calculation. His eyes fixed on Alexander. Recognition dawned. Natalie watched him process it, saw him understand. She smiled just slightly. David's jaw clenched. He looked away, continued to the altar. But his composure was cracked. Natalie could see it. Music started. Wedding march. Everyone stood up. Serena appeared. Beautiful. Young. Her dress probably cost more than Natalie's car. She walked down the aisle, smiling, glowing. Natalie felt a prick of something. Not jealousy. Pity. This poor girl had no idea who she was marrying. The ceremony went on. Traditional. Boring. The officiant rambled about love and commitment and eternity. Natalie watched David's face. He kept looking in her direction, at Alexander, at the twins. He was distracted, uncomfortable. Good. Vows were spoken. David's voice trembled slightly. He stumbled over the words. "Do you, David Michael Sterling, take this woman?" "I do," David interrupted. Too fast, too eager to finish. Serena looked at him, concerned. The officiant continued. "Do you?" Serena Ivy Morris? I do, Serena said quietly. I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. They kissed briefly, awkwardly. Guests applauded. Natalie clapped politely. The twins fidgeted beside her. Almost done, she whispered to them. Can we go home soon? Van asked. Soon, honey, soon. The ceremony ended. Guests headed to the reception area. Cocktail hour, music, laughter, champagne. Flowing freely. Natalie stood with Alexander. Olivia was nearby. The twins got sparkling cider and cookies. People approached. Curious, boy. Natalie, is that you? Oh my God, you look incredible. Thank you. And who is this handsome man? This is Alexander. Alexander. Sorry, I don't recall your last name. Thorne. Thorne? Like Thorne Industries? Yes. Gasps. Stares. How did you meet? Alexander answered smoothly. We met in a coffee shop. She spilled coffee on my laptop. The guest laughed. Too loud. How charming. It was. Alexander nodded. Best day of my life. He said it like he believed it. Because he did. The guest made an excuse. Slipped away. Probably to tell everyone what she learned. It happened 6 more times. Different people. Same questions. Same hungry eyes. Natalie handled it. Smiled. Made small talk. Played her part. But inside, she was counting the minutes. David approached during the cocktail hour. Alone. Serena was taking photos with family. Natalie, you came. His eyes shifted to Alexander. To the kids. I didn't know you'd bring guests. You said the kids should see both parents moving on. It's their future. I wanted them to see it. David's jaw tightened. And who is this? Alexander extended a hand. Alexander Thorne, pleasure to meet you. David recognized the name. Everyone did. His face cycled through emotions. How long? He started. 18 months, Natalie said calmly. The kids met him last week. David looked like he'd been slapped. I see. His voice was tight. And you thought bringing him to my wedding was appropriate? You invited me. You said no hard feelings. I took you at your word. David opened his mouth. Closed it. Opened it again. We need to talk about the custody agreement. About the alimony. Oh, not here, Natalie said firmly. Not today. Today is your wedding day. Enjoy it. She walked away. Left him standing there. Alexander followed her. Twins trailing behind. That was incredible, Olivia whispered. You just shut him down. I'm shaking, Natalie admitted. You didn't show it. That's what matters. They found their table. Sat down. Waited for dinner to be served. Mark Mitchell walked over. 40-something. Kind eyes. Nervous demeanor. Hello, Ms. Vance. Good to see you, Mark. Thank you for coming. He shook Alexander's hand. Mr. Thorne, thank you for everything. Just Alexander. And thank you for your courage. What you're doing isn't easy. Mark looked around. Made sure no one was listening. Serena's father is here, Victor Morris. I'll approach him after dinner. I'll show him everything. Let him make his own decision. Be careful, Natalie said. David suspects. Grace warned me. I will be. But it has to happen. He needs to know what he's investing in. Who his daughter is marrying. Mark left. Blended into the crowd. Natalie watched David at the other end of the room. He was talking to Serena, gesturing toward her table. Serena looked confused. Concerned. He thinks I'm here to cause trouble, Natalie said quietly. Aren't you? Olivia asked. No. I'm here to tell the truth. There's a difference. Dinner was served. Elegant. Multiple courses. The kind of food that cost hundreds of dollars a plate. Natalie picked at her food. Stomach too tight to eat. The twins ate everything. Kids were resilient like that. Speeches began. Serena's father stood up first. Victor Morris. Successful. Powerful. He spoke about his daughter. About how proud he was. About welcoming David to the family. About looking forward to their business partnership. Natalie saw David relax slightly. Smile. Nod. He thought he had won. David's mother stood up next. Grace looked tired. She gave a short speech. Formal, not warm at all. When families unite, we hope for the best, she said. We hope for honesty, integrity, truth. She looked directly at Natalie when she said it. The message was clear. Then the best man spoke. One of David's friends. Told jokes. Made everyone laugh. Talked about David like he was the best guy in the world. Natalie felt nauseous. Finally, speeches ended. Music started. Dancing began. David and Serena took the floor. First, dance. They moved stiffly, awkwardly, like two people who didn't quite fit together. Natalie watched. She felt nothing. Pity was gone. Anger was gone. Only peace. She turned to Alexander. Dance with me? Always. They stood up, walked to the dance floor. Other couples joined. The space filled up. Alexander pulled her close. They swayed to the rhythm of some generic wedding song. Are you glad you came? He asked. Yes, but not for the reason I thought. Why then? Because I needed to see that he's just a man. Not the monster I built in my head. Not the god I tried to please. Just a man who makes bad decisions. Alexander smiled. You are incredible. You know, I'm working on believing that. Work faster. He laughed for real. Across the dance floor, Serena watched them, her face unreadable. Then their eyes met. Woman to woman. Recognition passed between them. Both knew who David was, but only one of them could still escape. Natalie looked away first. Mark made his move 20 minutes later. Natalie saw him approach Victor Morris, saw him gesture toward a quiet corner, saw Victor follow him. They disappeared into a side room. Natalie's heart pounded. Here it was. Alexander squeezed her hand. It's going to be okay. 30 minutes passed, 45. Natalie danced with Van, then with Maya, then with Olivia. Alexander entertained the twins, told them stories, made them laugh. He was good with them. Natural. Like he'd been doing it for years. Finally, Victor reappeared. His face was stone. He walked straight to Serena, pulled her aside. David watched, confused, then concerned. They talked. Victor showed Serena something on his phone. Her face went pale. Natalie couldn't hear what they were saying, but she could see the destruction. Serena looked at David, then at her father, then back at David. She shook her head, said something sharp, turned around. David tried to follow her. Victor blocked him. Two men spoke. Victor's body language was rigid, angry. David's face went from confused to terrified. 10 minutes later, Victor made an announcement. I apologize to everyone. Sorry to interrupt, but there has been a family emergency. We must leave. The reception will continue, but the bride and her family must go. Gasps. Confused whispers. Serena walked past David without looking at him. Her face was blank. Shock. Betrayal. Devastation. David tried to go after her. Victor blocked him again, whispered something to him. David went white. The Morris family left en masse, fast. The reception continued, but the energy was gone. Awkward. Confused. Guests whispered. Speculated. What happened? Did they fight? Is the marriage over already? David stood alone in the middle of his reception, surrounded by people and completely isolated. Grace walked up to him. He waved her off. Natalie gathered the twins. Time to go. They had been perfect, ready to go home. Olivia gathered her things. As they walked toward the exit, David intercepted them. What did you do? He hissed. Natalie stopped, looked at him. Really looked. I told the truth. That's all. You ruined my wedding. No. You ruined your wedding. You lied to everyone, to me, to Serena, to yourself. I just stopped covering for you. He looked at Alexander. You think he's better than me? Alexander spoke calmly. I think she deserves someone who sees her worth, whether that's me or someone else. David's face crumbled. I made a mistake with you. I see that now. Natalie felt something shift, a final transformation. I know, but that's your burden to carry, not mine anymore. But Natalie, we're done, David. We were done 4 years ago. I'm just finally accepting it. She walked away, Alexander and the twins beside her, Olivia behind. They didn't look back. The twins chatted all the way to the airport about the plane, about the cake they ate, about how pretty Serena looked before she left crying. Kids saw everything. Natalie was silent, processing. You okay? Alexander asked quietly. I'm okay. Really okay. On the plane, Maya fell asleep on Alexander's shoulder. Van held Natalie's hand. Mom, Van said quietly. Yes, honey. Did we do something bad to Dad? No, we told the truth. Sometimes the truth hurts, but it's still better than a lie. Dad's going to be mad at us, maybe for a while, but that's not your fault. That's his choice. Van nodded, seemed satisfied. I love you, Mom. I love you too, Van. Back home, Natalie tucked the twins in. They fell asleep instantly, exhausted. Olivia hugged Natalie tight. I'm so proud of you, she whispered. Thank you for everything, for being there. Always. Now rest. You earned it. Olivia left. Alexander stayed. They sat on the couch in her small apartment, in silence. How do you feel? He asked. Tired. Relieved. Free. Free is good. Free is everything. She turned to look at him. Thank you. For believing in me. For waiting. For being patient when I was terrified. You don't have to thank me for that. Yes, I do. Because you could have left. At any moment in the last 18 months, you could have decided I was too complicated, too broken, too much work. But you stayed. You're worth staying for. She kissed him. Slow, deep, full of gratitude, love, hope. Will you stay tonight? She asked. I was hoping you'd ask. They went to bed, didn't sleep, just were. What happens now? Natalie asked. Whatever you want. We live day by day. No pressure, no expectations, just us. I like the sound of that. Me too. She fell asleep in his arms. For the first time in years, she didn't have nightmares. She dreamed of open doors, endless possibilities, a future that belonged to her. Part 10. The Fruits of Truth and Redemption. The Bride's Call. The next morning, her phone rang. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer. Hello? Natalie Vance? Yes. This is Serena Morris. Or, I guess just Serena now. Natalie sat up. Oh, hi. Sorry to bother you. I got your number from David. Hope that's okay. It's okay. Are you all right? Serena laughed bitterly. Not even close. But I wanted to call to thank you. Thank me? Thank you for telling the truth. My father showed me everything. The financial fraud, the hidden assets, the lies, everything. I had no idea. I'm sorry you had to find out like that, at your wedding. Better than finding out in 5 years after I wasted more of my life, after we had kids. She paused. You tried to warn me, didn't you? 4 years ago, when David and I started dating. I tried. You didn't want to listen. I know. I thought you were just bitter. Jealous. I'm sorry. You don't have to apologize to me. Yes, I do. I was horrible to you. I helped break your marriage. I knew he was married. I didn't care. I thought I was special. That he loved me in a way he didn't love you. And now you know the truth. Now I know the truth. He doesn't love anyone, really. He just uses people. And when they stop being useful, he moves on to something else. I'm sorry, Serena. Truly sorry. Me too. Serena's voice cracked. I have to go. My father's lawyers are handling the annulment. But I wanted you to know. You saved me from making the same mistakes as you. Thank you. She hung up. Natalie sat there, phone in hand, staring at nothing. Alexander walked out of the bedroom. Everything okay? That was Serena. Called to thank me. For ruining her wedding. For saving her from the marriage. Alexander sat next to her. How do you feel about that? Good. Relieved. For everything. It feels right. She leaned into him. New life and trust. 3 months later, everything changed, and nothing changed. The divorce settlement was finalized. Fair. Just. More than fair, actually. David's lawyers fought, but the evidence was overwhelming. Natalie got everything she should have gotten 4 years ago. The house was sold, assets divided correctly, alimony increased, custody revisited, 50-50. Marina called with the news. You did it! You won! But Natalie didn't feel like she won something. She felt free. That was better than winning. She quit her second job, kept her first one. But now she had breathing room, space, time with the kids. The twins adapted. They saw David on a regular schedule. He was different now. Quieter. Humbled? Or maybe just broken. Natalie didn't know. Didn't care. Alexander was around more. He met her friends, family, everyone who mattered. The twins loved him, called him Alexander. Never Dad, but he was part of their family now. Natalie looked for bigger apartments, in better neighborhoods. She could afford it now. Alexander offered to help. She refused. This was something she had to do herself, but she appreciated the offer. One Saturday morning, she was making breakfast, twins watching TV, Alexander reading the paper. Domestic. Normal. Perfect. Mom, Maya called. Can Alexander teach me to draw on the computer? He said he knows how. If he has time. Of course I have time, Alexander said. Van looked up from his tablet. Can we go to the Science Museum next weekend? They have a new exhibit about patterns. Absolutely, Alexander said. We'll spend the whole day there. Natalie watched them. Her children, her partner, her life. It wasn't perfect, but it was hers. And that was everything. David's letter of closure. 3 months after the wedding, an envelope arrived. Cream. Expensive. Natalie's stomach flipped when she saw it. But when she opened it, it wasn't an invitation. It was a settlement offer. Full asset disclosure. Fair division. Everything she asked for. And more. And a note. Handwritten in David's hand. You were right. I'm sorry. I don't expect forgiveness. But I wanted you to know. I see what I did now. Who I was. Who I still am. Probably. But I'm trying to be better. For the kids. If not for anyone else. Thank you for not giving up on them. Even when I gave up on everything. David. Natalie read it twice, then put it aside. Alexander was making pancakes. Badly. They were lopsided. You okay? Alexander asked. Yeah, just processing. What's in the letter? A settlement offer from David, and an apology. An apology. Alexander raised his eyebrows. That's unexpected. Yeah. How do you feel about it? She thought, really thought. I don't need his apology, but I'm glad he's trying to be better for the kids. That matters. You're generous. I'm free. There's a difference, she whispered. The twins came out, still arguing about who got to use the bathroom first. Can we have pancakes? Maya asked. That's what I'm making, Alexander said. They're kind of ugly, Van observed. Van, Natalie scolded, but Alexander laughed. You're right. They're terrible, but they taste good. That's what matters. They sat down, the four of them, at her small kitchen table, which still wobbled. Eventually, she'd buy a new one. But not yet. This one had history. Memories. After breakfast, Olivia called. How's the new apartment search? Good. Still unpacking. But good. Need help? Always. Olivia came over an hour later with coffee and donuts and her kids in tow. The apartment filled with noise. Kids running, adults unpacking, music playing. Chaos. Beautiful chaos. Natalie stood in the middle of it, watching. This was what peace felt like. The doorbell rang. Alexander opened it. Mark was there, holding a bottle of wine. Hope this is okay. Wanted to stop by. Congratulate you on the new place. Come in, Natalie said. You're always welcome. Mark came in, looked around, smiled. You did it. You really did it. We did. You were part of this too. I only provided the proof. You did the hard part. You survived. They talked a little about David's business, about the fallout, about rebuilding. David resigned, Mark said. Board forced him out. Business is recovering. Slowly. But we'll make it. I'm glad, Natalie said, and she meant it. Mark left an hour later, promising to keep in touch. Grace Sterling called that evening. Short, awkward, but sincere. Natalie, I wanted to thank you for what you did for David. I know it doesn't seem like it helped him, but it did. He's finally facing consequences. He's finally growing up. He's your son. You don't have to thank me for that. Yes, I do. You could have destroyed him, sent him to jail. You had every right. But you chose mercy. That takes strength. Natalie didn't know what to say. I hope you're happy, Grace continued. You deserve to be happy. I'm working on it. Good. That's good. Grace hung up. Natalie stared at the phone. Stunned. The world had flipped. That night, after the twins were asleep, Natalie and Alexander sat on their new balcony. Small, but overlooking a park. Trees, grass, open space. She never had a balcony before. Tell me something, she said. Anything. Do you ever regret getting involved with me, with all my chaos? Never, not for a second, even when you pushed me away, especially then, because that's when you needed someone the most. She leaned into him, inhaled his scent, soap and coffee and home. I love you, she said. The first time she said it out loud. The first time she admitted it to herself. I love you too. He said it before, many times, but hearing it now felt different, real, solid, true. They sat there, in silence, watching the sunset. What do you want? He asked. For the future? For us? Honestly? This? Just this. You, the kids, peace, normal, boring days where nothing dramatic happens. That sounds perfect, doesn't it? They went inside, to bed, to sleep. But before she fell asleep, Natalie checked her phone one more time. A text from Serena. Just wanted you to know, I'm okay. Better than okay, actually. I'm going back to school. Art history. Something I always wanted to do but never had time for. Thank you for showing me I can start over, that it's never too late." Natalie smiled, typed back, "You'll do amazing things. I believe in you." She put the phone down, closed her eyes, and realized something. She spent 4 years waiting for David to see her worth, but the truth was, his opinion never mattered. The only opinion that mattered was her own. And finally, she saw herself clearly, not as someone's ex-wife, not as someone's mother, not as someone's girlfriend, just as herself. Natalie Vance, 38 years old, survivor, fighter, mother, partner, friend, imperfect, flawed, sometimes scared, but enough, always enough. Part 11. Epilogue and the final call. Action. The garden and true peace. 1 year later. Natalie was in her kitchen, not the tiny old apartment kitchen. A real kitchen, in a real house. She bought it 6 months ago with her settlement money. Her money, earned, deserved. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Backyard where the twins could play. Not huge, not fancy, but hers. The twins were in the backyard playing with a new puppy, a golden retriever named Sunny. Maya's choice. Alexander was at the grill, cooking. He improved. Pancakes weren't lopsided anymore. Olivia was setting the table for a family dinner. Everyone came, all the people who mattered. "Mom, when is dinner?" Maya called from outside. 20 minutes, Natalie replied. She looked around. Her life, her people, her home. They say the best revenge is living well, but that wasn't quite right. The best revenge is no revenge at all. It's realizing you don't need it. It's building a life so full, so complete, so genuinely happy that the past can't touch it. It's understanding that the person who hurt you no longer has power because you took it back. David sent a text last week, asking if the kids could come to his birthday party. He was turning 41, wanted to celebrate with them. Natalie said yes. Of course, they were his kids too. She didn't hate him anymore. She didn't love him. She didn't think about him much. He was just someone she used to know. Someone who helped teach her one of life's most important lessons. Your worth was never defined by those who couldn't see it. The doorbell rang. "I'll get it," Alexander said. It was Grace and Lydia and Mark and Marina, her lawyer turned friend, her tribe, her people. They filled the house with laughter, stories, warmth. Dinner was chaotic, kids talking over each other, adults telling jokes, wine flowing, food disappearing, perfect, messy, real. After dinner, Maya climbed into Natalie's lap, too big to sit in a lap, but Natalie didn't care. "Mommy," Maya said. "Yes, sweetie. Are you happy?" Natalie looked around, at Alexander washing dishes, at Van showing Mark his math project, at Olivia laughing with Marina, at her full house, loud, chaotic. "Yes, sweetie, I am happy." "Good. Me too." That night, after everyone left, after the kids were asleep, Natalie found herself in the bathroom, in the same position as a year ago, sitting on the floor, back against the tub. But this time, she wasn't panicking. She was crying. But they were good tears, healing tears. Alexander found her there. He sat next to her. Didn't ask. "I did it," she said finally. "You did. You survived. You did more than survive. You bloomed. She put her head on his shoulder, breathed. Thank you, she whispered. For what? For seeing me when I couldn't see myself. Always. They sat there on the bathroom floor, in their imperfect house, with their imperfect lives. And Natalie realized something. This was it. This was everything she was looking for. Not revenge, not vindication, not even justice. Just peace, just love, just freedom, just herself. And that was always enough. Wow. What an incredible journey. If you enjoyed this story of resilience, justice, and the power of finding yourself, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. And let me know in the comments, what was your favorite moment? When Natalie walked into the wedding, or when Serena thanked her? I read every single comment. Subscribe for more stories like this. See you in the next one.